Welcome to Pacific Push and Taste Radio, Dash Radio. It's your host, OG Money. You know the motto, we bring the streets to the beach. Today in the beach house, we had the streets of Houston, Texas with us. We have Marcus Clay.
What's the deal?
Everything's good, brother. Glad to have you here. And to our listeners, you know, I try to keep my language clean as possible, even though this is explicit, but this man right here is a rapper's rapper who doesn't fuck around at all. You've been doing this at a high level since at least 11 years old. When did you start writing?
7.
Started writing at 7, and you were getting co-signed by major industry veterans by the time you were 11.
Yes, sir. Lupe Fiasco was one of them. He took me up on his wing and put me on my first major tour, 2 major tours. I did spot dates on the Steppin' Lasers, and I did the full Generation Laser tour, 45 cities. So I would say within those 4 years, the growth was definitely there.
Oh, on your social media, you said it. You can't rush greatness. Now,
absolutely.
How important has it been for you to trust the process?
It's been very important because the process comes with you perfecting your craft. You know what I'm saying? I feel like within, you know, I don't call it downtime. I call it grow time. You know what I'm saying? Because it's like in those hours when you're not in the forefront or not performing, or, you know, you at home, you got to sharpen your sword. You know what I'm saying? I call myself Sparta because it's like I'm a warrior with my words and how I convey my message. And I just always made sure I sharpen my sword. So when it's time for war, slice these niggas. Wait, can we curse on here?
Of course.
Yeah, slicing these niggas up. You know what I'm saying? So most definitely, I would say it's important to perfect your craft.
It is. And you've been receiving these cosigns and praise forever. You were signed to Master P at around 16 years old. At least that's when he announced it to the world that you were part of the No Limit. And at that time, he was already comparing you at 16 to Kendrick Lamar and J. Cole. Now, what was that period like from 11 years old to joining No Limit, not only in your career, but in life as an 11-year-old?
Man, you know, I was fairly young, just getting into the business professionally. So I would say from 11 to 16, I always, you know, I looked up to, you know, people like Jay-Z, Nas, Big L, Pun, Pop, you know what I'm saying? So as a youngin', I just wanted to fill those shoes. So by the time I turned 16, that's what I was trying to convey. And Master P is, you know, my family's like my family, good brother. He seen that, you know what I'm saying? So it's like, by the time I linked with P, I already kind of knew how I wanted to convey my message as an MC. So that's pretty much where I was with it, man. I was still getting better with it and still getting better to this day with it. You know what I'm saying?
And you're still a young man. So at 11 years old, who introduced you to those MCs? Hove, Nas, Big Pun?
Man, my mother, my uncle, you know, Lupe's DJ. I would say I spent a week in LA with Lou and his DJ, and this one with iPods was, you know, the iPod that came out with the latest version. And he flooded my iPod with like nothing but classic hip hop music. You know what I'm saying? So it's like that plane ride home. I just I pressed play on the records, and it was just a feeling I never felt before. You know what I'm saying? From that point on, it was just like, yo, this is what I want to sound like. You know what I'm saying? And then me being from Houston, Scarface is one of my biggest inspirations too, because it's just like, you know, he didn't sound, a lot of people when they hear my music, they say I don't sound like I'm from the South. And that's what I felt from Face, and that's what I felt from Andre 3000 being from Atlanta. He's an alien, you know what I'm saying? So it's just like, my mom was definitely one of the biggest influences who put me on, Jay. Like, we used to listen to Blueprint in our apartment with no furniture, just a stereo, you know what I'm saying? And I used to go to sleep to that album, just soaking that shit up, and it just made me, that's how I wanted to spit, you know, that's how I wanted to convey my rhymes.
You still have the iPod?
Nah, I lost it, man. I lost it. I that was 12 years ago, but the knowledge it gave me stayed with me though. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Sure.
That'd that'd have been something dope to pass on. You know what I mean?
Absolutely, man. Damn, bro. I ain't even think about it like that, but for sure, I definitely would want to have that, like to give it to my son or something like that in the future. But for sure, absolutely.
Yeah, you still have time, man. Make sure you loading up some music now, putting these playlists so you can pass on to the next generation. Because
Facts.
if that iPod helped you develop into what you are today, then we need to load that up for the next generation along with your
Facts.
catalog.
Facts, bro. Absolutely. I agree.
Now you said it on YNS Freestyle. You were 13 years old doing shows in arenas. Now,
Right.
were you still in the traditional classroom setting, or were you being homeschooled?
Nah, I was in the class. So it's like with my school, you know, I was they understood like the type of life I was in. So they would send my work with me. You know what I'm saying? So I would go on tour, you know, and perform, and then I would come back to school and, you know, catch up on my work. But I was already doing it on the road. And a lot of my teachers was like, man, this young man, you know, goes on the road, and when he come back to school, he don't miss a beat. You know, how is that? I always took school serious. You know, I always wanted to be a scholar within my work, because I was so focused on my career. I didn't want to lose sight of my education. That's important. You know what I'm saying? So I definitely took that serious. So that was fun too. That was a fun experience, being a youngin, doing all that stuff and coming back to the schoolhouse with the shorties on you and shit. That shit was dope. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Yeah, having fun. You talk about the ladies a lot too, and I wanted to get to that because we've seen it in not only the music industry but entertainment. Sometimes there's issues as a young talent can develop and find their true artistry as they develop into
Right.
manhood. How has your process matured since you've grown up in this industry?
It's matured tremendously, because I've always balanced it. I always tried to balance, you know, my career and my regular life. You know what I'm saying? So I would say it's important to have a solid foundation as far as a team, you know, to keep you humble, to let you know that you still a kid, you know what I'm saying, but you still have obligations and you still want to be great with everything that you're doing professionally. So I would say the balance is important, and that's what kept me grounded all these years. You know what I'm saying?
And you've already been doing this for 12 years and you're still very young.
Yep.
At this stage, what would you say has been the major turning point in your career?
Signing the Def Jam, man. Getting that situation, just and being able to show my skills on a more mature level, because you know I've definitely grown musically, I've definitely grown sonically, and it's just a blessing, man, to be on such a legendary label with such an incredible track record, and just having the opportunity to showcase my skills, man. So.
And it's very special because you had dropped PTSD like right before the pandemic, and on that project you touched on a lot of elements that you continue to touch on in your projects, as far as being a self-proclaimed introvert and just dealing with these issues. Then you followed that with another critically acclaimed project that really tackles these issues even more, on top of some personal issues with pandemic. So those are standout projects in your catalog. But before that, you were already working with Mustard, and you've talked about the frustrations it was having all these cosigns. And you said it like, yo, I got all these cosigns, but I still don't know Jay-Z. So how did you turn that frustration from being like pretty much a child prodigy in the hip hop into the music, so that they can really hear your voice?
Absolutely. I feel like if you channel it, like with anything that you love, you know what I'm saying? Like if you channel it through your craft, you know, it sort of takes a little bit of weight off you and a little bit of pressure, because you're letting it out. You know what I'm saying? Like when Kobe was going through things, you know, he would shoot 200 shots in the gym, you know what I'm saying? 200 free throws. And it's just like, whatever you're doing, you know, you got to find a way to make it make sense within perfecting yourself and becoming better. So I would say when I touch on things like that, it's more so of getting it off my chest, so it won't sit on me. Because you know, when you let things sit on you, it becomes a problem. And sometimes it's a mental battle and a mental struggle. So you got to get it off through the music. You know what I'm saying?
And on top of dropping solid projects very consistently, you have you have a presence on social media, dropping these freestyles. You know what I'm saying? Like being in the vehicle, the Papoose thing with the kicks and whatnot, even the tweaking freestyle. Even Meek was paying attention. So now that you're a part of the Def Jam family, how have things changed or moved forward for you?
It changed a lot, man. And it's still growing too. Like a lot of people paying attention, and it's making sense now. Like I'm getting the opportunity to be on the forefront with with my skills. And the thing about Def Jam is they let me be who I am. You know, they don't try to change my music or try, you know what I'm saying? Like, now you need to make these type of records. Like, they let me do my thing in the studio, and that's like a blessing. You know what I'm saying? That's really rare these days with the climate of music. You know, I feel like I got an opportunity to be myself on a big platform and a legendary platform, and I'm just grateful, bro. Just grateful and blessed for sure.
It's a great time in Def Jam. You know, you see the signings of other really lyrical talent that's been showcasing, and you release Open Market, which is another lyrically dense offering. And you threw a bunch of clever lines about that as well. So, you know, what more can we expect from you in a proper project from the Def Jam?
Oh man, I got a project coming out soon called Mecca. The Mecca is basically hip hop through my eyes. You know what I'm saying? I'm working with some legendary producers like Eric Sermon, Buck Wild. I had a conversation with Primo, and just building that nostalgic feel, but making it modern still to this day, like still in this time, but like just paying homage to hip hop, man, because it's such a beautiful thing. It started in New York, and where it went was the globe, and that's just big within itself. You know what I'm saying? So definitely more records, man. I got some singles dropping. Studio Gangster, a record called The. I got some records coming out on Amazon, on Audio Mac and SoundCloud, and we just finna hit the ground running, bro.
Well, I'm a fan. You said Eric Sermon, and that's very refreshing, because even though he's part of a legendary group and has done things on both the production and as an artist, his name doesn't come up a lot in these discussions.
Mm-hmm.
You know?
I agree.
Now, on top of your accomplishments in the booth, you've also managed to break through in television and film. So you starred in MCU's Cloak and Dagger, you know, which is major. But how important was it for you to be a part of All Screwed Up, like celebrating a Houston legend?
Oh man, it was very important because, you know, in the city of Houston, DJ Screw is like he's a pivotal person who brought the city together in a positive light with the type of music he made. You know what I'm saying? A lot of artists that's big in Houston wouldn't be in a position they're in without this man. You know what I'm saying? And just to see the legacy that he created last on through so many years, and you got artists like A$AP Rocky, Drake, you know what I'm saying, who reference this man in their music and kind of pay homage to his sound, is beautiful. So that meant a lot to me to be a part of his story, and, you know, to even, you know, for people to even recognize me as a talent, as an actor, because I was fairly new. You know what I'm saying? I did my first show, Shots Fired, when I was 16 with Sanaa Lathan and Richard Dreyfuss. And that was like, and Gina Bythewood, the director of Love and Basketball, gave me that opportunity. So I ain't have no acting skills, no nothing. So it was just like all off the talent. But it was important for me to play in Screw's movie and be a part of his legacy in that way, for sure.
You had a huge part in it too. You was the man that handed him the money, like, yo, take this.
Yeah, for sure. Absolutely. Like, I was the first one to buy a Screw tape. I was portraying the first one to buy one. So that was dope, bro. That was dope.
No, that was definitely dope. That was definitely dope. And, you know, it wouldn't be right for me to not ask this question. I'm sure you have plenty stories and you soaked up a lot of game from Master P. But what's been the most valuable nugget that you received from Nipsey Hussle?
Man, just never to quit. Never quit. You know what I'm saying? No matter what you go through, always stay focused and keep going, because you never know when you're going to break through. You know what I'm saying? It's times where you might feel discouraged, or, you know, you might feel like it's not working, but just know when you mining for the diamond, you never stop, because the moment you stop, you might have a little bit more dirt to get to what you're trying to get to. So Nip just explained, you know, to stay focused and don't stop, man. And you can see that within his career. You know what I'm saying? Absolutely.
1000%, 1000%. And I was actually, you know, conversing with somebody earlier, and, you know, they're like, yo, I'm looking for a hit record. I thought about you because I've been absorbing a lot of music. I said, well, just make undeniable music.
Right. Absolutely.
Make undeniable music, and the people will come eventually.
I agree.
So now I want to get into G's favorite things. What's your favorite memory of Kobe Bryant?
Man, damn, I got a lot of favorite memories of Kobe, man. I would say one of my favorite memories that stood out is when they won the conference finals, but they transitioned to the finals, and everybody was like Kobe, you did it. You know what I'm saying? Like you, how does it feel transitioning? He had a blank stare in his face, like the job isn't done. We didn't win yet. Like this is just a stage to the next stage. You know what I'm saying? And that inspired me to always stay focused on the end goal. You know what I'm saying? You never want to lose sight of what you're really here for. And that was one of my favorite ones for sure. And another one is when Matt Barnes was trying to fake him out with the ball in his face, and he was like, "Man, I ain't nigga, let's go." Like, you know what I'm saying? He wasn't fazed.
Yeah.
Like, Kobe was, man, he was crazy, man.
Yeah, that's my favorite basketball player, my favorite athlete as well, man.
Mine too, absolutely, brother, for sure. See, I fuck with you for sure, absolutely.
Yo, I just went to see a mural that they painted of him in Gigi
Wow.
up in Guam. It's crazy. I'm gonna show that.
Yeah.
So, what's your favorite freestyle?
That I did, or just period?
I left it open.
Damn. Damn. Favorite freestyle. I would say Wayne. Well, one of my favorite freestyles was Wayne Ambitions as a rider. He did one. He did Georgia, and then he finished.
Oh yeah. Oh, he went
Yeah.
crazy on that too, and it switched up.
Yeah, when it switched, exactly.
He went crazy on that.
Yeah, that's
Dedication too.
Absolutely, dedication too. Facts. Yeah, that's the one I could think of for sure. And then I would say another one that stood out is Big L and Jay-Z's freestyle.
98 freestyle. Oh yeah.
98 freestyle for sure.
You are 100% historian of this game, man.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Come on, man. For sure.
So I'm gonna switch it up a little bit now. So what's your favorite thing to do on the set of either a TV show or a movie?
Man, watch movies. Like watch a movie. Like if I'm in a trailer and they got the TV on, I'm watching my favorite movies, man. And and it ain't necessarily just trying to get in the character. It's just relaxes me. I love watching TV and film. You know what I'm saying? Especially my favorite shit. Like my favorite movie is Goodfellas. Of all times, my favorite joint.
That's a good one. No pun intended.
Classic.
No pun intended.
Classic.
Definitely. I can keep this conversation going all day long, but I do want to afford you the time to let the listeners and the fans know how they can get in contact with you and what else you have going on.
Oh yeah, for sure. On all socials is Marcus Clay, MarcusClae. That's every social. Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, whatever. And man, just stay tuned. I got more music coming out. I'm cooking up, man. Mecca coming soon.
Pay attention, world. Like he's been doing this at a high level since 11 years old, and the pen is only getting sharper. So it's been a pleasure to sit down with Marcus Clay, Houston native, and he's definitely putting on for his city, man. G Money, Pacific Push.
Yes, sir.